Well, what's okay?
You're better than I am.
I want to thank everybody for coming out. This is a cool night, not cool temperature-wise, but cool because of the reason you're here. It's nice that there's camaraderie, that we all socialize, get together, talk about all the things going on in all our exciting lives. But the best part is kind of what's happening, all the possibilities of a beautiful garden that Piet Oudolf can design for a community. Not for a city, not for a big park that's going to attract million-dollar buildings and rail systems, but to have a park for a community that attracts love, that attracts and provides change for people, to find something beautiful to live in. And every plant that goes in that garden is going to feel the love, nurture, and caring from people that can't wait to do it. So I think it's something beautiful.
And with that being said, we're going to walk Roy to the microphone.
Okay.
And this is how.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry to know there's a microphone. Every time I hold one of these, I feel like Vic Damone. You probably don't know who Vic Damone was. Oh, okay. Yeah, he just passed away about 2 years ago. He was 91 years old. And he had this silken voice. His voice was a voice of silk. My mom always played him when she was dusting in Berwyn. So I always remember the reel-to-reel Vic Damone tapes and Perry Como. So anyway, again, I wanted to again share with you that this is something very special happening. And I don't know how to explain it even in any other way, but to participate in the possibilities of not just change, but the possibilities of who knows what. You really have no clue what your future is asking from you. None of you do. What is your future asking from you, and how are you going to contribute and bring that into something, something very special? So I brought this with me as kind of a security blanket. I was going to show it to Pete. This is Carex meati. None of you have Carex meati. None of you can get Carex meati. No matter how much money you have, you cannot get Carex meati because nobody has it except Northwind. And Northwind will start producing this in about 4 or 5 years. We'll probably have 10,000 of them. And the idea is not to try to sell you anything. The idea is when you put this in your garden, in your sedge community will look like a Monet moment. It's going to add rich blue texture. It's going to be upright, about 12 inches high. It's going to have bright yellow flowers, giant Q-tip-like flowers. And people will walk through your garden and say, I got to stop talking about this or that. What is that over there? And I know that because that's what happened at the Lurie Garden in Chicago. When that Lurie Garden was finished, people were slightly disappointed. They felt they didn't get their money's worth. They didn't see the color and the texture, but you could see all the patterns because they were young plants. They were young children. They didn't really know how to act like adults or be adults yet. And the second and third year, I was standing there with a clipboard, and this will be my only story because I have to pass this on. This is Pastor Shona here. So I was standing there with a clipboard, and I see 3 businessmen coming from the band area, walking between the hedges, and they were walking there just talking to each other intensely. You could see something big was happening in business somewhere in the world, really intense conversations. They came through the hedge into the Lurie Garden, and it was like Dorothy landing in Oz. They stopped talking, and they didn't know what they were looking at. It was the most amazing moment I've ever seen. 3 intense guys get through that hedge, and they're like this. Where are we? What has just happened in this garden? And I thought, see, that's the power of what makes something beautiful. It stops no matter what you're focused on. Something beautiful will change the way you look. And I always like this saying, Jerry Wilhelm shared this with me, because when you think about what you have, there's a simple phrase he shared with me. It's that which is loved is beautiful, and that which is beautiful is loved. So when you have that working for you and you have a belief in that, you become unstoppable. Everything you do is unstoppable. So I hope that we make some progress with the Sears Sunken Garden. And I'm very excited that you're all here. I'm going to share this with Pastor Roshona now to say a few things about the garden. So thank you.
Thank you, Roy. We're going to actually have Pete come now. So if you can come and have, he says, oh God, he's coming.
All right. You want me to talk?
I do.
Oh God. Now, I'm here today. I didn't expect to talk, but you know, this morning I was at the Sears Sunken Garden, the garden as it is now, and I think it is a garden nobody would find it if it was not on the map, since I was asked by Roy to and the community to be part of the design. And I think I came there last year, and Laura, she was one of, and Chris, the architect, they took me out, and the whole community, all the people there, we walked the garden, and they said, okay, we want to make this a community garden for our neighborhood. I think, yeah, of course, I think, yeah. I didn't think really, but the place, it was such an exciting, beautiful place, and you know that all. It was a garden, it's so long, it's a bigger garden than, I think, if we talk about planting, it's bigger than a Lurie Garden on my, more or less. So in that sense, it was very challenging, you know, and I think we walked around, we talked about possibilities, we talked about what we could do, and Roy and Anna Maria, they were the initiators of the garden, and Laura, she's still a big sort of person that take care of all sort of kind of people logistics. Can you say that? So I was at this morning, we had again a gathering with people from the neighborhood, and we talked again, and I think the master plan is ready, and you can see it on the board later, and I think Chris, the architect, can probably explain if you like to know what it is. So we are on our way, you know, and I think I started with my design, the planting design, that's on the way. So we're on the road, and not at the beginning. We passed some villages already, and up to the end. And I think it's quite rare. I think it is really rare that a garden like we normally make in cities, in centers of cities, that where millions of people come, suddenly can arise in a neighborhood. And a neighborhood that probably deserves it. I think because they really fight to get something done and to get the quality of that neighborhood on a level that it brings people in, I think. And that's what we try to do, and that's why I'm really fully, sort of energized to make this happen, and that's why I came today. And also Roy, who's a good friend of mine, and we know each other for, I don't know, since 2000 when I came in, and we got stuck by the 9/11 moment. So we were talking at that time for my design for the Lurie Garden, the planting, and I think since then we became friends. He helped me out with plantings and implementations. Austin, who's sitting there, he's a young talent in the same way, great plant knowledge and design talent. So we meet a lot of people on the road in life to a certain moment that you say, okay, I'm almost done, I think, but I'm still 100% active. But you know, sometimes you think, where will it end? But I'm glad that there are people that still continue the way we do in planting. And what we try to do with planting is to move people. We did a planting a big planting in Detroit. Duncan Campbell is sitting there. He's the initiative person that made that garden happen. He raised all the money for the garden, and I think the garden is, I think one of the nicest perennial gardens in the United States. I think that is really true. And because of the people that take care. You got the money to make it, but the people that take care of the garden are most important, because you can lose your money in 2 years when you don't have the right people. And that's what we try to do. It's not only making gardens, designing gardens, creating beauty for people, but after that it needs care. And I think, and when it gets care, more people will come in and want to help. I think, yeah, I see that all in front of me, that not only the start, but also the beauty, and also how you can please the community and the people that can be active to help to make that a success through the years. And if I look at most of my good gardens, I'm celebrating in 3 weeks' time the Highline 15 year after the opening of the first. It's still great, people love it. It changed a lot, but still good. I think Lurie Garden, 20 years. It still attracts millions of people over the years, have attracted. I think the Highline 8 million a year. So it will attract people. I wouldn't say that your garden at the end, when it will happen, will take, you don't want 8 million. But you want a few more thousand than from outside your But I think that people travel for gardens, that people travel and fly to see gardens. So it's also a possibility, and you probably know Duncan, for that people come from all places, not only from Detroit.
Our garden in Detroit attracts people from around the world. All people who are interested in the perennials, in the horticulture, etc., and then also just basic tourism in Detroit. And they come to see your work.
Yeah, now that's very flattering. I feel it, I know it is true, but you don't want... But you can't say that all the time, because otherwise, it's a sort of... No, it's true, but if I say it, I rather like other people to say that, and I agree. But nevertheless, so that's what we try to do. So for you, as all you and the community, I hope it will work. And I think we do our best, and I think that you get enough financial help from people that will make it work, because it is very special. When it's done, you will see you get so much attention. You probably wanted to make less, Keep it for your own, but that will not happen at the end. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're fine. So let's give Piet and Roy a big hand clap of celebration for their plants philosophy and all that they share with us. And Piet, I will say this to you, they will come to our community to see your work. So let's celebrate him once more. So my name is Roshona Fitzpatrick, and I was actually born in the North Lawndale community where the Sears Sunken Garden is now located. It's beautiful now, but it's even going to be beautiful, as Yvonne says, as we reclaim this beautiful space. And I'm just excited, Piet, to know that you are a part of this project, just as many of us here are excited about it. We are a thriving community, and we know that this Sunken Garden is going to bring tourists, but it's also going to bring peace, community, and love back to our community in a way that couldn't be done unless we had our beautiful Sears Sunken Garden in place. It's going to be beautiful. You see on those boards there how Piet and the whole entire group has got together and have met, even with the community. Piet said it's a community garden, and that's exactly what it's going to be. That's who's going to come and spend time, as well as our visitors who will come. We have this garden where it's been inspired by the people in the community. We had workshops and people came out, and what was really exciting last year when Piet came, the students came, community members came, and they planted with him. Young people came, and to share, there was even actually a blind man there that wanted to plant with us. So like for me, that was a highlight for that day for me, to see that he wanted to be a part, and to see Piet on his knees out there with the young people. Like, I want to give him a celebration for that today, that he was out in the area. We need to feel peaceful in our community. We need to feel love. We need to feel joy. We need to experience that, and this garden is going to bring that to our community. There is some peace, there is some joy, but we need more. And the way that we get more, just thanking and appreciating you guys for being here, but there's something that we can all do together. Let's talk a little bit about dollars and cents, right? That's interesting, right? So what we've been doing on our own at this point, we've been raising some funds. It looks like we have about $5 million is going to help us with this project. And we're even looking to build in monies to help maintain, because then sometimes we forget about the maintenance part. But we're not starting at ground zero, which is wonderful. Somebody say yay. So we're not starting at ground zero because we've already raised $1.5 million. Can I get some celebration for that? The Dre House Foundation has donated $1 million. We got money from the Doris Duke Charitable Foundation, from Home and Grown. We have money also from Trust for Public Land and from B.M.O. Harris. But we still need some more. So we're working on that. There is a card that's on your table. If you can just take a look at that. See that card on the table? What we're going to do, some say we're going to try to do it, but I say we're going to do it because I believe in miracles. Any other person out here believe in miracles?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, any people believe in miracles. I believe that we are going to raise $2.5 million by February 2025 so that we'll be able to reach our goal, because we're going to break ground. I didn't say we're thinking about it. I said we're going to break ground in February of the spring of 2025. So that's going to happen, right? Yeah. So we got to raise this money. And we need you to help us. We're doing our part in North Lawndale, right? Now we're here and we need you to help us do that. This seems like a lot of money. It really does, but it just seems like a lot of money. It's really not a lot of money when you got people who can assist you in making this thing happen. So here's how this can work. We can take a look at this card and you can decide what it is you want to see signage to. And what does that mean? You may have a loved one that you want to have signed on to, maybe the pergola, right? And there's signage from that family, from your family. Or maybe even provide trees and shrubs. Or maybe you want to provide plants. So on this card, it kind of describes what's available for you to assist us in our process. How many of you guys are excited about being here tonight?
Yeah.
How many of you guys are really excited about seeing the plans that's going to take place in our community? I'm really excited because 20 years ago, I was in that place having my wedding photos taken. I was there. It was beautiful. It's not as beautiful as it used to be, and it's going to be beautiful than it was. So I'm excited about looking forward to seeing how beautiful it's going to be. So here's what we can do. There are a few of us here from the Sears Sunken Garden, Friends of the Sears Sunken Garden. Can you stand with me, if you will? And I'm going to let you say who you are. That's how we're going to do this. So if you're part of the Sears Sunken Garden, Friends of Sears, please identify yourself so that when people are ready to talk about what they would like to give, or just get your number, that they can call you at a later date, or even tonight, they'll know who to come and speak to. So over here we have...
Okay, I'm Marianne O'Rourke, and I was with Sears in the 1990s in corporate communications. I love this idea of saving the Sears Sunken Garden.
Thank you. In a pretty black dress.
I'm Tricia Needham, and I worked at Sears as a young person and used to eat my lunch in the Sears Sunken Garden.
And for those of us who know the history, the reason why the Sears Sunken Garden was established in the first place was that the owners wanted their employees to have a place of respite on their lunch break, to come out from the manufacturing company, to come and sit into the garden and to enjoy it. Is that just beautiful? That someone would care enough about their employees to have them this beautiful garden. Behind you we have someone else's beautiful garden.
Hi, my name is Demetrius Barbie, and I am a member of the Holman Square Board. I also live in North Lawndale, and my house is the 6th house, the white block that you see. So I overlook the Sears Garden. So I've had the pleasure of moving there when it was absolutely beautiful, and we've fallen into a disrepair, but now we're working on getting things better for all. It's nothing like when we talk about your emotional quotient. It's so important that we have the psyche of our neighborhoods and our communities to be able to come in the city for respite. All of those things help to make it better for all, so we're really excited about that.
Hello.
My name's Yvonne Shields. I'm a resident of Holman Square, which adjoins the garden. I've lived there for 30 years. I've been a lifelong West Side resident. I am so excited about this project. We've worked on it for so long, and to see it finally coming to fruition is just fantastic. First of all, I want to thank all of you for coming. I mean, this is fantastic. So if you need any of us, if you need any more information, we're all here to help. Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name's Kevin Sutton. I'm the Executive Director for the Foundation for Home and Square, which also sits right near the old Sears campus. And I am just thrilled about the renovation and redesign of the Sears Sunken Garden. It is an amenity that we are all looking forward to sharing with the city. And I believe that community residents as well as folks downtown will be coming out to see this beautiful garden. You know, when you think about how many people travel to get to the botanical garden, just think about how many folks will travel to get to this one. And having Piet associated with it, I think is a really big plus. I've been to the High Line in New York any number of times, and I have to say, every time I go, I keep thinking, let it look like this, let it look like this, let it look like this. And so I'm really thrilled about having the opportunity to be a part of the board of directors here at the Friends of Sears Sunken Garden. And thank you all so much for coming out tonight.
But I would say it is the most beautiful place, you know, the most beautiful setting and context that you can make a garden in that, you know, that area. I think, yeah, you're lucky to have it, you know. Although, you know, because if you make gardens, it needs context, and you have a real sort of whatever is there. It makes a garden. Like I work on Belle Isle, you know, and we toured the garden there, and as Duncan asked me, where shall we make the garden? I went, and then we came to the. Can you tell the story? Yeah.
So Piet came to Detroit. When he first came to Detroit, we had 3 weeks' notice. We called it the first date because he had never been to Detroit. He hadn't met us. We met. So we're driving around Belle Isle on day 2. We come around a corner, and he says, "Here is where I want to make my garden."
Yeah.
Now you have to understand with Piet, he's a connector. He is one who likes to connect cultural elements, as he did on the High Line, as he does in Chicago with Lurie Garden between the Art Institute and Millennium Park. And he did the same thing in Detroit as he connected the 1905 Conservatory to the 1950 band shell, to the Carillon, to the International Peace Monument, because he likes to create a halo effect. And that is what's going to be brilliant about Sears Sunken Garden, is the halo effect it's going to create in the neighborhood.
That's what it is.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm Carolyn O'Boyle. In my day job, I work for the Trust for Public Land, and that's how I got connected to Friends of the Sears Sunken Garden. Trust for Public Land is a national organization that's dedicated to making sure everybody has access to beautiful outdoor spaces. And we do that in a number of ways across the country. But I feel very lucky to be working on this project in North Lawndale. So, thank you.
Laura.
I'm Laura Akasatia, and as Piet mentioned, I've managed Lurie Garden for 10 years, and I'm really excited to see a project happen somewhere not downtown. I think this neighborhood will be the most perfect setting for this garden.
I'm Liz Lavazorio. I through Garden Club of America, I was working with Roy on a couple different things. He introduced me to Anna Marie and going down to Friends of Sears Sunken Garden, and that's how I got involved. And I do like to say that I first met Piet when I crashed Duncan's party in Boston when Piet was getting the Medal of Honor Award. So, thank you.
Amy.
Oh, hi, I'm Amy Coons. I also work for Trust for Public Land with my colleague Carolyn. I'm on our national team, but I'm based in Chicago, and I work on our fundraising side. And I've seen this project grow over the years, and I'm so honored to be here tonight. It's really, truly community-led and driven, and it's going to bring so much to North Lawndale. So thank you all for coming and supporting it. We really appreciate it.
Thank you all. I just want to say again, thank you to everyone who's here. I know that miracles can happen and will happen, and miracles just don't happen. It happens with people. So this is a miracle night. So people, let's make some miracles happen. Just grab one of us if you want to have a conversation. Continue to enjoy your conversations, and I look forward to talking to somebody real soon. Thank you.
Better now, yeah.